Welcome to Horror Hub, your cozy corner for spine-tingling stories and mysterious tales. Here, we gently peel back the layers of the unknown, inviting you to relax, settle in, and explore the eerie and extraordinary right from the comfort of your favorite chair. So grab a warm drink, dim the lights, and let yourself be drawn into the next chilling chapter. Nights like this feel different once the story begins, and the shadows tend to gather at the edges when her name is mentioned. People in the old villages used to say that the dark listens, and when you speak of certain spirits, the dark listens harder. But do not worry. Fire keeps most things away. Most. There is a spirit known in Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and Brunei, and anyone who grew up in those places has heard her name whispered at least once. Pontianak. Some call her kuntilanak. Some do not dare to say anything at all. They simply say her and hope that is enough. This spirit is not just a story children tell to scare each other. She comes from a very old fear. A fear rooted in real grief, real loss, and the real danger that childbirth once carried. Long ago, before hospitals, before medicine, before anyone could help a woman struggling to bring life into the world, the chances of surviving childbirth were slim. When a woman died while trying to give birth, the people believed her soul could not find peace. The pain she felt in her final moments, the confusion, the fear, the loneliness, all of it trapped her between the living and the dead. From that sorrow, the Pontianak was born. People say she appears as a woman at first glance, but only the shape remains human. Her skin is pale, like it forgot how to hold warmth. Her hair is long and black, tangled, covering most of her face. Those who claim to have seen her say she wears a white dress, but anything white in the forest never stays clean for long. Her clothes are stained with earth, tears, and whatever lies in the soil that clings to things that do not belong among the living. Her eyes are the part that people remember. Dark, empty, as if looking at you from a place far away. A place where the living have no business standing. The thing about the Pontianak is that she does not always approach like a monster. In many old stories, she appears as a beautiful woman at a distance. Long hair, gentle voice, soft footsteps. Someone you might think is lost, someone who might need help. But beauty is the bait. That is the warning the elders repeat again and again. Beauty in the wrong place should make you walk faster, not slower. A strange sign comes before she appears. A smell, frangipani flowers, sweet, soft, almost comforting if you do not know what it means. The flower is often used in burial rituals, so the scent has always carried a quiet sadness. When the Pontianak is far, the smell is gentle, fresh. When she is close, the sweetness rots into something foul, something wet and old, the kind of smell you wish you never learned to recognize. Another sign is her cry. A woman crying in the distance is not uncommon in old ghost stories, but the Pontianak has a rule that everyone knows. If her cry sounds loud, she is still far. If her cry sounds soft, almost delicate, barely there, she is close, very close, close enough to reach you before you take another step. People used to say that the Pontianak's sorrow twists into anger. She blames men the most. Not because every man hurt her, but because many stories begin with a woman abandoned, mistreated, or forgotten in her final hours. So she returns to seek justice in the way spirits often do, without mercy, without hesitation. Some believe she attacks men simply because they remind her of the one who failed her. Others believe she hunts anyone who walks alone at night, drawn to the warmth of the living because she no longer has her own. Places where she is often seen have become warnings passed from one generation to the next. Banana trees are one. People say she rests inside them, or behind them, or above them. Someone walking past a banana grove at night may hear rustling that does not match the wind, or feel something watching them from between the leaves. Even today, there are folks who will not go near those trees after dark. They do not explain why. They do not need to. Then there are the rivers. Southeast Asia is full of rivers, curling through forests and villages like veins through the land. People say the Pontianak lingers near calm, shallow waters. She follows the sound of flowing water. Some believe she seeks the reflection she no longer has. Some believe she is drawn to the places where life and death often meet. Rivers take, and rivers give. Spirits know this. Animals sense her first. Dogs know when something unseen is close. They do not bark at her. They growl low, deep in their chests, as if trying not to be heard. Birds and insects fall silent. Even the wind seems to pause. Those who have walked alone at night describe a moment when the forest becomes unnaturally still, as if the whole world is holding its breath. That stillness is her calling card. Every region has its own version of the legend, but the heart of the story stays the same. In Indonesia, people say the kuntilanak laughs sometimes. Not a happy laugh, but a brittle one, as if her voice forgot how to sound human. In Singapore, taxi drivers tell stories about picking up women late at night who vanish from the back seat before reaching their destination. In Malaysia and Brunei, plantation workers share accounts of seeing a woman standing at the edge of the estate, long hair blowing in a direction the wind is not going. They talk about climbing trees, swaying bodies, and faces you should never look at directly. What makes the Pontianak so frightening is not just her appearance or her cry. It is the sadness that created her, a spirit formed from a mother's final breath, a woman who died alone, a soul that never got the chance to hold the child she carried. Pain like that can twist a spirit until it becomes something the living cannot understand, something that searches for what it lost in all the wrong ways. People protect themselves with iron. A small piece in the pocket, a nail near the window, a pair of scissors under the pillow. Iron is believed to weaken her. Some old stories say an iron nail pressed into the back of her neck forces her spirit to quiet down, to take a human shape and stop attacking. Only for a while, though. Spirits like her do not rest easily. They settle like dust in a room, only to rise again when disturbed, and no one wants to disturb a Pontianak. What keeps this legend alive is not just the fear, it is the sightings, the experiences people swear are true. Soldiers on night patrol, workers on lonely roads, drivers taking shortcuts, hikers who stayed in the forest longer than they planned. They do not tell their stories loudly. They speak calmly, directly, like someone repeating something they wish they could forget. One man described walking home late and catching the smell of frangipani, even though no flowers grow along that road. He felt the air turn cold. He heard breathing behind him, soft and uneven, like someone trying not to cry. When he turned around, nothing was there, but the smell stayed with him for hours. Another said he heard a woman calling his name from the trees. He recognized the voice of someone he knew, someone who had passed away years before. That is another thing about the Pontianak. They say she can mimic voices, not perfectly. There is always something a little off, a little slow, a little hollow, but close enough to make your skin crawl. People today like to think they are safe from old ghosts because they live in cities, surrounded by lights and noise. But spirits like the Pontianak are tied to the land, not the time. And the land beneath our buildings is older than everything we have built on it. What makes her story frightening is that her presence feels like a shadow of human pain. She is not a creature invented to control children. She came from real suffering that communities witnessed again and again. Women fading away in childbirth, families grieving, rituals rushed because storms were coming, bodies buried without the proper rites. That kind of sorrow does not disappear quietly. It grows into warnings, beliefs, and stories that spread through villages like wind through trees. The Pontianak is grief with teeth, grief with a voice, grief that walks. And even though people fear her, some pity her too. Some elders say she cries not because she wants revenge, but because she wants rest. She wants someone to finish the rites she never received. She wants someone to acknowledge her pain. But spirits shaped by loss do not behave like the living. They react the way storms do. They come when the air is right, When someone walks alone, when someone speaks her name too boldly, when the scent of frangipani drifts where it does not belong. So, when you walk at night and the wind goes silent, or when you smell flowers in a place where no flowers grow, remember this story. Do not call out, do not follow the sound, and do not linger beneath banana trees when the moon is high. The old warnings have survived for a reason, because somewhere in the dark, a woman still wanders, pale and sorrowful, searching for something she lost long ago. And when she finds someone alone, she does not always remember that she is dead. Thanks for spending time with us here at Horror Hub. We hope tonight's story left you thinking, and maybe left you with a little shiver too. If you enjoyed this quiet dive into the unsettling, be sure to like and subscribe to join us again for more tales that intrigue and chill. Until next time, stay comfortable, stay curious, and remember, the unknown is just a story away.